What's up, family? Hopefully everything's going well with you and yours. Did y'all notice, man? Look, this Clark Atlanta Fort Valley State game is actually pretty good. I'm over watching it. 9-7 Clark Atlanta games in Atlanta. So you gotta say Atlanta. Uh, man, it's interesting time, and the Rattlers they needing to leave this game with a golden fleece on their backs. You already know what's up and what it's always about to be. It's about to be Fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does! And that might be the knockout punch.
All right, greetings, salutations. Rattlers are needing a golden fleece this week. Look, think we got the mic right this week. I was like testing it before. Like, let me make sure because that was frustrating. What's up, Kel? What's up, little baby? What's up, Kel? I need a leg of lamb stew down for Sunday dinner. What's up, K Will? Look, trying to keep up, cuz trying to keep up. But yeah, fleece jackets, used to be the style, and normally called an animal pelt that you can get off of a ram or a sheep, a fleece. So, needing to leave with a golden fleece this Saturday. Look, now y'all got it up there, cuz. Look, ooh, okay, he's up. Yeah, this Clark Atlanta Fort Valley game, pretty solid. We might have to add that to the tagline there. If you are so inclined, though, the Rattler boosters need you. Look, I'm coming in October. Hold on, I'm coming. I ain't forgot about you. Just got to make sure. In the words of Dave Hollister, we take care of home. But if you are so inclined, definitely scan the little QR code there. Rattler boosters needs your support. Fang Exchange also needs your support. And come check us out. Round 1, Hallelujah 95. We're talking nothing but FAMU and FSU football on tomorrow. So tomorrow, 6 p.m., go check us out. Depends. If I can catch it on the radio, I definitely am looking. And if you need that iHeart app, that's where it is. iHeart Radio is the app. That's where you'll find that good stuff. Get that information you need. Also, don't forget, we're still doing our race to 10K to help the FAMU track team. So if you can give $1, if you can give it $10,000, I'd appreciate it. Remember, all funds go to the track team. None of it goes to me because, hey, we just making sure we can put people where we need them to be. So we try to win some more swag championships. Championships cost money, man. So, look, mentioning championships, cross country. It's a lot going on Saturday. I don't know how Dennis is gonna handle all that. Shout out Dennis. I got to meet Dennis down there at in Boca at the FAU game. So he said we good. I'll double check, see if my peoples might be good too. Might see if I can get some extra help on the sidelines. It's nice to have some extra help when you can get it. But cross country Saturday. This is in Tallahassee, so always a good time, man. Look, gonna button up a little bit, get ready for that. So also FAMU Volleyball, they got a nice little W over McNeese State, second win of the season, I believe. They have a game also Saturday. So, had to message them like, hey, do I need anything? Y'all know those games are normally free. But if y'all so inclined, you may want to see if we can inquire about putting a donation bucket out there, just say maybe QR scan, get a little $5, $6 from people. You know how that goes. So, and this week, I did check the memory card. I'm gonna triple check it after the show. If y'all don't know, look, during the FAU game, my memory card stopped working. Didn't realize I got the wrong size memory card. So I got a big one thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get some with plenty of space. And my camera couldn't handle all the space. It's too big. It's too wide. It won't fit. It fits, but the camera can't handle all that. It's got to be ego. So also, maybe you did get some offers out there. Multiple sports. Look at climactic pause, right? And you basketball though. I had these ready. I've been kind of waiting on these for a few days. We're gonna drop these after the show, but Maya Barnes, 5'8" guard. She got offers though. Like I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The young lady has plenty of offers. So do not be surprised if it's one of the ones where you offer, but you might not get. But hey, it's a good offer. 5'8". It's a good size for ladies basketball. So what's up, Tamara T? Good to see you there. Also, FAMU Golf went up there, finished in 12th place. They finished ahead of all the military academies, and they also finished ahead of some Power 5 programs. So mention them offers. Look, Charlie, he get them offers out there, man. FAMU basketball, they're gonna try to make y'all excited. We got Brian Cabero. I don't know if that's Cabello or Cabello, but 6'2" guard from Miami, Florida, 2029 kid. So, okay. Another guard. This one, Melvin Stubbs Jr. He's 6'4". He's from Catalina Foothills in Tucson, Arizona. So, I believe he's a 2026 kid. So, I forgot to add that on there. Y'all can't see it, but for my own personal show notes and for what I'm going to share with Marcus, 2026 kids. So I'm cool with it. And then lastly, offered another quarterback, Egan Seegers, 6 foot. He's from Holmes High School in Bonifay, Florida. So, just saying, yes, little baby. The one with the 6'8" wingspan is Stubbs. So, because I was confused at first, I'm like, is he 6'8"? But and I was like, oh, his wingspan 6'8". So yeah, that he's him. So some decent offers going out, man. Good times, man. So, gee, y'all be careful this weekend, Mr. Bobo on Hinge. I was looking for some pops, man. Yeah, we ain't even had nothing to do with that foolishness. Like craziness. Anyways, the FAMU Albany State game, y'all already know where we're at on this one, right? Like, this is the game. We counting this as a dub. Like, out of Bonifay, okay. I ain't know that's where you're from. Hey, good people from down there. But this is the game we counting. Like, I don't know any other way to say it. It's not a discount of Quinn. I'm here to listen to anybody who's looking at the 2 records. They're 2-0. We're 0-2. And I'm here for it. My only thing, and this was kind of a frustration point, I couldn't find no film. Like, I was kind of looking. I kind of hit the YouTubes on it. Because for me, like right now, I'm watching Fort Valley and Clark, Atlanta. They don't look like they'd match up well against FAMU. So I do want to see in this game, how are they going to match up? Because it's really cool for everyone to be kind of hyperbolic, right? And complaining about, oh yeah, we got to get some wins. We got to do this. And I don't know, man, don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them. I ain't sleeping on nobody, but I ain't losing no sleep over that. I'm sorry. Like, I get the offense ain't where you want it to be. It showed something. Wasn't greatness last week, but it showed you some life. I'm not losing sleep over that. Like, that's just me, And little baby said, it's a dub. We should be able to pull this out. We got to get on a solid footing. That's where I'm at. Like, for this game, when I'm going to watch and look for, I want to see quarterback play. Like, I want to see what quarterbacks get in. I thought personally, especially against an FAU, that was a perfect game to see all 3 quarterbacks. I get one doesn't appear to be the thrower that some others are. it wasn't like you were going to win that game. Like, I was never going to sell that. I think I said that going into the season. That was one of my pretty much stamp it L's. Like, we weren't even going to have the argument. And then after the Howard game, solidified. So going down there, when I was down there in Boca, I was just trying to see, like, were there flashes, right? Were there players that flashed for me? Obviously, and honestly, yeah, the same players that you expect to flash. Like Ashton Grable, he was good. Wasn't great, but he was good. Defensive line was not great. But at the same point, on the defensive line, you're missing two of your starters. Like Westmoreland ain't there, ain't coming. Your starting defensive tackle, pretty much everyone you brought with you to SWAC Media Day is not on the field. So you're missing two of your best defensive linemen, and we're complaining about the defensive line. It's just saying. I think that was my big thing. What I did like, I ain't gonna lie to you, even though TJ was like, he got a couple PIs, I actually like watching him in coverage. I saw something. I thought he showed me something. He showed me some growth from last year, which is really, really great. There you go, Hollow. Hollow, I'm with you all day and twice on Sundays. My concern is quarterback. This entire game. It's not the run game, largely because you are overmatched. Like, you look at the point of attack, you look at their guys, then you look at us. So it's literally you're two chains to this situation. Look at them, now look at us. Yeah, one more time. Look at them, look at us. Yeah, all their people aren't rich as F, but we ain't as rich as they are. And so I think when you're looking in this game, it's another one where I'm really not expecting to get a lot out of it. I'll say this. If there are major takeaways in this game, as a FAMU fan, is that a good thing? Like, if we finish this game and have major takeaways from the FAMU Albany State game, is that an indictment on us? Or is that a statement about, oh, wow, they were so offsides, it wasn't funny? Is that a statement of that FAMU something? Because we've seen just in our own selves, game one, abject disaster. Game two, an expected outcome. The difference I see when I look at what Albany State has done so far versus what FAMU has done so far, they beat the teams that they were supposed to beat. That's the biggest difference. It's not all the hype and the locker room talk and, you got to cuss somebody out. No, you don't. You need to win. Like, I'm not going to say I don't see pride. Like, I don't see results. I don't see wins. But when I was on the sideline, I heard pride. Like, I heard the players saying, hey, what you walking for? Not the coaches. On the hop. Hustle off the field. Stop walking. Like, is it the results you wanted? No. But did the players police their own people? Absolutely. They were telling each other, hey, this isn't our standard. Even in a losing effort. And to some of that, you got the players that they're still bought in. While they're still bought in, they got to experience some success because this is your last dress rehearsal before the games get serious. Everything that you want is still in front of you. But you have to make sure as a leadership team, coaching-wise, football, everything else, that homecoming is not the last game your fans go to. And that's the danger when you FAFO with some of this stuff and you create a situation where you're reacting a little late on stuff. Like, that's just what I'm saying for me. We called Els versus Albany State in 93 and 86, but I believe the talent disparity should be enough to wear them down and come out hot. I agree. Like, I personally think, and I could be wrong, that's where the game is different, right? Like, I'd have to go back and double check in 86 how many years we were removed from the SIAC, right? Um, we still had good teams, but yeah, like you got me on that one though. I'm not familiar with that name, but I'm sure my parents know some whites. Let's see. Look, Zach White. Okay. Look, look. Okay, team hasn't given up. They still balled in, and that's all more reason to continue to support. Exactly. Like, I think when you're looking at this game, first quarter, what I'm looking for, I'm looking to see can FAMU score early. I need to get rid of the slow starts. I don't care if you got to put quarterback 3 in there. He got to run the freaking option. Find a way. Like, I think you need to score early because Albany State's showing you they can score. And I feel like they're going to be aggressive. I don't think they're going to back down to you. And what you can't do with a team like this is give them hope because the worst thing you can do for somebody is give them hope. Let them see some success and see how they respond versus let them throw their best punch and see you respond and have it be a positive response for you, wherein they threw a punch, you may have took it on the chin, but when you counterpunched, it was like, oh, okay, we're gonna have a party today. Versus, oh man, we bust them in the mouth. They bigger than us. They ain't all that. Yeah, we got this. We can take these dudes. You can't have that. You have to set the tone early. You got to score. And even within that mindset, if you have to score, you have to come in there with the mindset that you're not afraid to make mistakes. Like, because I think that's one of the big things we saw in the offense where, I got a stat where our quarterback is one of the leaders as far as lack of turnovers. I mean, he didn't really push the ball down the field in the first game. So, that stat's kind of a stat versus a outcome driven thing. So I think the first drive, I need FAMU to score. And I need multiple scores because if FAMU can score, right, it sets the tone. And it makes life easier for the defense because then all of a sudden, when the defense comes in, they got a little cushion behind them and they can be a little more aggressive versus if they're playing from behind, man, you don't want to get down 14-0. Not saying the locker room's fragile, but it's one of those things where you start looking over like, man, come on, we need a win. Like, you go from less of, man, we can get this to like, man, I hope. And you don't need your players leaning on hope. They need to lean on their confidence, their skill. Like, and it was like Quinn Gray's playing for a job while James Coley's fighting to keep his. We need at least 27. I don't disagree. I'll say this. I've seen the Quinn Gray movie before, though. Like, we've got the narrative that he's doing a job interview here. I don't disagree with y'all. But I think it sounds better. I think it sounds good versus the reality of they shouldn't win this game, period. I think some of that is the looking at how many points they put up per game and not looking at who they put up the points against. They beat the fool out of Kentucky State. I said this on round 1 with St. Clair. In 2 years, Albany State's put up almost 100 points on Shaw. So I think last year was 43. This year was 48. You can kind of switch numbers around. Either way, they're averaging in a 2-year period almost 100 points. So, 2-year total, excuse me, not average. Your 2-year total is about 44 points, right? So this is a team that you line up and you're pretty favorable against, right? If you're Albany State. I think when it comes to FAMU and in the past, even under Willie, we struggled, but we also didn't look very clean that game. And I think that's a lot of the concern with some of us is can you look clean? But much to the point I saw earlier, we wore them out at the end. Like, and I think we should get 3. I mean, if we're being honest, I think FAMU should get 3 or 4 rushing touchdowns this game. I think it's definitely a possibility. This is one of those games where, I'll be honest, if we can score early and that was a holding penalty, I asked the question if you can get that Franklin out of the game early. I mean, you've heard some of the stuff with, was that ONG? It might have been penalty talk. That was penalty talk where he talked about some of the stuff going on there. Do you play that at all? Does he dress? Can you get away with getting Bo in the game? Can you rest some of your starters that you're going to need for Albany State? Because, I mean, Alabama State, because you have to win this for morale reasons. But is this a game that in theory you could lose? Yeah. Is it going to be an extremely uncomfortable place to work if you, that kid got laid out? If you do, abso-freaking-lutely. Not a game you can lose. Like, it can't be that. That's a damning offense. Right? That's worse than the Valley game and against the wrong person. Because even though Valley beat FAMU, the coach still got fired. This is one of those, I don't say the U-Haul truck's backed up, but I will say, FAMU don't pay no $1 million for no football coaches. Like, you're pretty much talking about your coach's salary being what you make from one classic. I think. Yeah. And that's not something we want. Like, I'm not trying to get rid of Colsey. I don't want nobody thinking like, oh, you don't like Colsey, whatever. That's not true. I have no issue with Colsey. My issue is with the production. I don't like the results that I've seen, but that doesn't mean I don't like the man. That doesn't mean I don't like the coach. I don't like losing Howard. I don't like knowing that this punt formation is not going to work, and then we get exposed in the game, and then the response is after you get exposed. I kind of keep making kind of the hint and the poke and the elbow towards our president and Jerome Powell. Like, he consistently makes this, snarky comments about Jerome Powell and calls him too late every time. You need to make this cut, make that cut, cut the interest rate, cut the rate. You're too late. Hell, he's going to have to, looking at the economic numbers. But even still, was he too late? I think sometimes we adjust too late. I think sometimes when I'm looking at our games, we make adjustments based on the previous game. We don't always make adjustments in game. And so, like I said, offensively, I need to score fast. Defensively, I want to see what the line of scrimmage is going to look like. When I know you're missing 2 of your best linemen, they know you're missing 2 of your best linemen, and we see a difference. Like, you look at the Howard game, you look at the FAU game, and you can see there's a difference on the line of scrimmage there. That's going to be impactful, and that's something where you want to clean that up, but this is also a game where you have to get Albany State off the field, because if they can find ways to string drives together, we've seen that movie. That's the Valley game. They strung drives together. They found ways to score. Like, it wasn't always, it didn't pan out. So, and look, I'm with you on that. I'm team Bo and Jamal right now. Like, I'm a Thad Franklin fan, but if I can rest you for a week, I'm gonna rest you for a week, because the conference game is more important than this game. So, and we have an off week next week. So you think 3 weeks off? That's pretty solid. Like, I'm just saying, I'll play Thad part of the game, not all the game, so we can fully. I'm with you on that. And which lineman? We're missing Westmoreland and my boy from Kennesaw State. Was it Donald? So yeah, so The two guys that went to SWAC Media Day ain't there. And one of them, you probably won't see Westmoreland for a while. So, if at all. So, unfortunately. But that kind of is what it is. Like I said, going forward for the first half, my key to the game is going to be time of possession and can you score points. Like, those are going to be the big things, because the most frustrating part about the Howard game was the stat line. You dominated the stat line and everything that said you should win the game, but you lost. And I think in this game, what I'm looking to see is you don't necessarily have to dominate the stat line, but first half, I need 20 points plus. I need it. I need 20. I need 20 something to whatever at half. Prayerfully, it's less than 20 something. Like, if it's 21 up at half, look, it's going to be some groaning in them stands. Like, it's not going to be comfortable. Grable's there, unless they didn't play him, but he was in Miami. So, to answer your question, Hollow's like, Grable's not there. No, Ashton Grable was there. I haven't heard anything about this week, so I will own that. But he was there because the Dolphin scouts were looking at him heavily. And they stayed. The Miami Dolphin scouts stayed at that game until fourth quarter. Like, they left in the fourth quarter, and that's when they left the FAU game. So that's a great question. I don't know. Look, y'all know me. I'll tell you I don't know when I don't know. Key red zone offense with TDs, not field goals, third down defense can get you off the field. I got that. I'm with you on that too. I think, and that's a stat that I would love to see our red zone offense in the last 3 years. Partially because I would like to see it last year under Colsey, right? But I would love to see it that last year under Willie Simmons too, right? Just so that you can kind of have an arc and a lineage to see like where things are different and where they've improved. Our slow starts is why I feel we might start with Jet. RJ seems to need time to warm up. I think RJ starts. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think the leash is long. I don't think you're going to get what you got in FAU where it's like, we know we're going to lose. Just let the kid just kind of go out there and sling that rock. I don't think you get that this game. I think if it's what you kind of saw in the first half where RJ is kind of struggling out there, two things going to happen. One, Marvin's going to get booed. I mean, I ain't going to boo her. I'm just chilling. I know how y'all are. But the other thing, if we get a modicum of that BS we got from Howard in the first half and the quarterback, whoever, and that's why I make sure I say whoever. It could be RJ, it could be Jet, it could be Tyler Jefferson. It don't matter. But if we get a modicum of that, what we saw from Howard, and the quarterback we don't see some quarterback change before the end of the second quarter, baby, it's going to be some real problems then, because I think that was where a lot of people had concerns, where it was like, you see this isn't working. Why aren't you changing? Why aren't you doing some things to adjust? And then to not just not make adjustments, but to say, there was never really a conversation. And it's like, how is that not a conversation? Like, we've all been places where things aren't going right. Like, I've been in places and the person that pulled me aside, like, hey man, we're gonna switch you for this person. I think they can do it better than you. And it's like, that's fair. Like, that's fair. Was it what I wanted to hear in the moment? Kind of, yeah, I hated that thing. But but other times it's been like, hey man, you gotta get it right. And I had to get it right, but that's some of the stuff that gets me, man. Like, that's the thing about these types of coaches. Good players seriously go missing. Transport is real. Like, I've said it once. You got 3 games to get these kids in a game. If you don't see what you want to see as a player by the 3rd, 4th game, the door is there. And you don't necessarily have to show me the door. I can take this red shirt here. I'll take your money, and I'm gone. Like, I'm just saying. And, yeah, I wouldn't play my top running backs very long. So, but I think for me, first half, that's what I want to look at. That's what I want to see. I do want to see what the band sounds like. You know, I didn't get to go to Miami. I was on daddy duty. So I do want to see what the 100 sound like. Albany State's probably bringing a band. I kind of want to see what that sounds like. But then on top of that, I want to see what the fans are like. You know, what's the vibe like at Bragg? Like, you know, I love the parking lot stops. I love walking from, especially if I gotta walk from Earl's Hill all the way down to Bragg, and you get in conversations with the unks, and they be like, "Hey, man, I watched the show, man," and I appreciate if they agree or disagree. I'm not that person. You got to agree with me. Everything I say ain't right. That's just me. Like, I never feel like I'm above approach. I think I said the other day, like, oh man, USF got one more before they beat all the schools. I did not realize in 2010 they beat Miami. So USF, I think they're the first of the non-FSU Florida Miami schools to beat all three of them. So that's wild in football. So, you know, again, I love that conversation. I love that time. I love that talk. Love that, you know, all of that. So yeah, I'll probably be out Cuz tailgate. Probably hit up my Sands up there. Go say what's up. You know, I don't even be trying to eat up there, man. I be trying to just say what's up. You know, show a little love to my frat brother. And he don't let me leave without a plate normally. And he be having fish too, man. So that's my weakness. Fried fish. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Like my daughter right now. Look, I'm supposed to make some fried fish, and when we come back, I'm gonna make some fried fish. Like that's my thing. But yeah, transfer portal's real. So is APR. Look, I keep saying that. Like, we need this to work. APR wise, this has to work. Like, I'm just saying, still feel like Jet is having issues, the game speed, and more prone to turnovers, which we cannot have. Yeah, I think I don't disagree. And the look there means I kind of disagree, but I don't really disagree. I do think that first pass, that was some darn good coverage. I don't know if the receivers were straining enough. And I think that's part of what Cozy's kind of talking about. Like, street, you know, we used to always hear Willie say, you got to strain. And be like, okay, but what do you mean? I get it. He's like, you have to finish the reps. You have to push it as hard. And I think I give credit to one of our receivers. I forget my boy's name. Western, I believe. Gosh, I forgot the guy's name. He pushed it to the point where he pretty much cramped up, and he probably should have come out on the route, but he was straining for you. So I think, and I agree with you, Hollow. I think he does need reps. I think also with the receivers, they need reps with him, because you can catch the ball from two different quarterbacks and it looks completely different. And it still looks like a spiral, but there's some quarterbacks where when they throw the ball, you turn around, that ball's on you. Like, go listen to Michael Irvin talk about running that bang eight with Troy Aikman. And he was literally saying how that ball was on him. Like, I remember certain quarterbacks, you know, I remember playing football, Gavin Dickey, man, he threw the ball hard as hell. And so you had to be there. Like, if you didn't run the route, you was loafing, you can get exposed because the ball was going to be where it's supposed to be. Whereas, you know, other quarterbacks, you know, hey, man, I run the route on where I'm supposed to be at. You know, I might get a little time to kind of come in there and cradle the ball a little bit, you know, and kind of look over and see the ball, where, you know, other quarterbacks, that ball going to be where it needs to be. Wilcher, thank you, Kamari Wilcher. Appreciate that. And look, I like him so far, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like him so far. But yeah, so my first half thing, like I said, I need 20 points plus. I'm looking for a defensive effort. I would like our defense to give 10 or less. 10 points or less at half from FAMU's defense, I think, is a good day at the office for the first half. And then go into halftime. If we stay where we are penalty-wise, I'm good with that. If we average 5 or 6 penalties per game, I'm happy. I you know, some of y'all, you might want to, but 5, 6 penalties per game, I'm used to 100 yards of penalties. FAMU's averaging 50 yards, it's like 52 yards per game in penalties. First game, I think we had 54. Second game, we had like 53. Like, okay, I'm used to 100 yards under that stuff. Like losing every 50-50 is crazy. Man, look, Hollow, that will likely not happen again for the rest of the season. I won't say never because it could, but it's not likely where you get that many 50-50 balls that the other team just dominates. Like those receivers, they dominated that. Like the quarterback was putting the ball where it needed to be. It's going to be interesting. For the second half, and half the penalties were delayed games. So if we don't get that, exactly. So for me, for the second half, come out hot, man. I honestly prefer if we defer. I'm not telling coach what to do. I'm not. I would love if we deferred just because I feel like you getting the ball back at half gives you that possession kind of coming in, especially if you can start the game and let their offense get on the field. Okay, then try to give your offense a chance to respond. Hopefully they do respond. But going out of half and getting the ball and potentially scoring, that gives you a chance to, especially if the score looking right, you can put the game away. And I think, for the third quarter, I want to see us put up a good 14, 14 to 17 points. Defensively, I still want us to, have limited them to less than 100 yards rushing, passing wise. I mean, they're going to kind of do what they're going to do, but I want us to look good in coverage. I want us to potentially by the third quarter have been able to get a turnover or two, whether it's interception or more, and get a decent return. And then by the fourth quarter, I want a dub. Honestly, I would like a dub by 17 points more, and defensively have stats that show that you were dominant. Like have some of the young guys get in, have some of these guys who maybe further in the depth chart get in and get some reps against some competition that'll build their confidence, not whatever we got out of FAU in the second half. Like, just that's my big thing going into that. So, like, their quarterback's going to be who he is. He's had a pretty good record so far against the competition he's gone against. But I still don't think he's seen a secondary like FAMU's. Like, and the secondary can only stay in coverage but so long. But they haven't seen a FAMU. And that's something that has to be said. And all of the Quinn's coming home and everything else talk, he is. But he's also not played a team like FAMU this year. FAMU just played a team that is in the same situation we are in. They just got their butts beat by a better team. We went to their house and we were the lower level team and we got stepdaddy treatment. Like we just got woe out. And this is our turn to get our look back. Like, I'm just saying, close. I need one, this season, interception or fumble that benefits FAMU. And make sure, look, I'm going to make sure I am very detailed with my wants, because what I don't want to say is I need an interception return for a touchdown. And then I see Brian post game and something happened. And Brian's like, you did say you want an interception for a touchdown. You just didn't say who. Nope, I'm saying who. I need it to be for FAMU. And so I think overall, I do think FAMU wins this game by more than 20 points. I think early on it's closer than a lot of us would like. That's always with this game. But while I don't think this team is better than those Simmons era teams, I do think in the secondary, you're running a defense that's different. Like, we were very vanilla in the previous administration. For everything this team hadn't been offensively, defensively, it's kind of fun to watch. And I think I would not be surprised if we see 2 or 3 turnovers that are caused just by a quarterback having to read defense. And can you get to him is the question. Can you keep him in the pocket? Can you make him uncomfortable? Like, he didn't. Did he? I don't remember. You got me on that one, EA. So the statement was more than 20 points. Willie didn't do that. I can't think of the last game Willie had less than 100 yards of penalties too. I'm just saying, like, folks talk about discipline. I told y'all quick, I don't want to not hear that not another time. FAMU's team is very disciplined as far as like your quote unquote discipline markers. We're just not scoring. Like, if this team could score, I'm just saying, I do like the run defense. I'll be honest, I don't mind the tackling. I think if you go watch the first half, I'm okay with the tackling for the most part. I mean, you got your helmet knocked off, but other than that, I don't think tackling was that bad. I think that's just a kind of a nice little talking point, but every team's going to talk about tackling, but I thought tackling was solid. I did like our run defense for the most part. Like, I think the run defense is stingier than we let on. We just didn't get a lot of penetration. I do think I'm wondering, are we going to challenge their quarterback with zone or man? That's going to be interesting right there. Let's see. Not so bold prediction, 21 points, 2 in his INTs, a rushing touchdown, 20 yards passing, 3 score tubs. Okay. I love it. Okay. So, long story short, I still think FAMU wins. I did not delete my photos from the FAU game off of here. Let me delete those slides because I'd rather not remember that. Let's see. All right. There we go. So for this one, my original call was 52-17. I don't think we have a snowball's chance of Hades of seeing 52 points. That was when I thought we were going to have a different quarterback play. I'm going to back that up. I think Albany State still scores 17. I think FAMU ends up with 31. So I think 31-17, that gives you what, a 14, something like that, off the top of my head. 20. So yeah, 24 point game. So give me 31-17 FAMU. I'm definitely backing off my 52. I thought FAMU was going to be very high scoring offense. So that's what I got for this one. So, so far in the season for our preseason predictions, we 0-2 when it comes to picking FAMU. So fix it, and fix it. Before we get up out of here, y'all already know, look, we got to make sure we give y'all this week's picks. Last week, the defending champ, when you're not in first place, but you won the championship the last 2 years, you got to just make sure you say defending champ. I'm coming back for what's mine. 5-0 last week. My only blemish on the season is the FAMU versus Howard game. We're not going to talk about that. I'm still a little upset about it. I just can't believe we lost that game. All right, let's see if we can open this up right now. Let's see, view your entries. There we go. So let's make our picks. All right, so Howard and Morehouse. I'm staying away from that. I don't trust Howard. I think they're going to win. So if I had to put a little coin on it, I'd pick Howard. Jackson State, Tuskegee, Jackson State. I'm sorry. Even though I don't think they were that impressive, give me Jackson State. Morgan State, Toledo. Toledo's interesting. I'm going to stay away from that, though. Alabama State, Miles. Give me Alabama State. FAMU, Albany State. Give me FAMU, Albany State. Let's see. I can only pick one best bet. Sorry. So, again, that was Jackson State. Alabama State. Sorry. Give me FAMU. Texas Southern versus Lamar. I'm avoiding that like the plague. But I will take the Southeast Louisiana over Valley. That might be a nice little upset, though. I'm just going to say it, Yeah, give you Rice over PV. Lincoln, California, UAPB. Does Burke do it for you? No. Give me Fresno State. I'm sorry. Are there any games left? No, those are my 5. All right, so I'm gonna take the layups when they're in front of me. Jackson State, Tuskegee. I'm gonna take that all day. I think Jackson State, they might put 50 on them boys. Give me Jackson State by 40. If I had to go to Howard Morehouse game, I'm going Howard. Even though I didn't pick it. I think Morgan State loses to Toledo, but don't be surprised. give me Alabama A&M over Tennessee State for the minute. Like, that's a toss-up, though. That's why I avoided it. Alabama State over Miles. I think Andrew bodied Bama State by 40. South Carolina State over Cookman. I think that's not even a competition. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to see if I got a game that I'm more confident in than that one. I think South Carolina State takes Bethune-Cookman to the woodshed just out of pettiness. South Carolina State, I'm going to pick you. I think they beat the fool out of them, and it's pretty much over. Texas Southern, Lamar, I don't know. I don't know enough to have a strong opinion about that one. So I'm going to stay away from it. A&T at Hampton, the MEAC detractors and defectors, give me Hampton. But that's not on the record. Give me Southeast Louisiana, not on the record. Rice, Grambling, give me UAPB. I'm hoping Kareem Burke does a little something. Fresno State versus Southern. Southern's terrible. Look, I'm just saying, EA, you're not wrong. I'm going to be safe and say about 40, but it's probably going to be about 50. They are not a good team. But they might find a little life under their new offensive coordinator. Like, I'm almost to the point of, like, walking away from that one and going to the Rice PV game. But watch, that game just blows up my face. So, combined total for Southern and Fresno State, give me 77. I think they get their eyes blown out. All right, so let's view our picks. So, our official picks, I got Jackson State, Alcorn State, South Carolina State. I'm picking FAMU one more again, and Fresno State. Let's see. Do you believe? Nope. I'm backing off my FAMU pick, even though I'm still picking FAMU to win. And I am going to come over to Grambling. I'm sorry. You burned me once, just in case. I'm not going to get burnt twice. And my confidence pick, South Carolina State over Cookman. All right, y'all. So I'm just saying, we can't talk about until we start winning. At all. So, but that's why. So, going back over my picks, I deselected the FAMU pick. I got Jackson State by 40. Alabama State, B2A. South Carolina State, B2A. I think Grambling, I don't think it's going to be that bad, though. I think it's going to be closer than they think. And I think they walk the dog with Southern. So, those are my picks. And hopefully we can get back in the top 5, top 3, because I think right now I'm in the 5 spot. Yeah, tied for 5th with too many other people. So I need to get up there. Got to get over She Loves Crazy. All right, y'all. Look, it's almost that time. Fang Exchange should be going on in a few minutes. So, get your drink. It's the purple ginger ale today. So I'm trying to switch over to bubbly soon. But get ready. Saturday, we should be up there in beautiful Tallahassee at the game. Got to double check, make sure we're still good for the preseason. Oh, he caught that pregame. If not, we'll just do it, be at the pregame tailgate. Cousin Kelvin, definitely will go home, see the family. Looking forward to seeing mom, dad. Been a couple of days, weeks since I've seen my parents. So, looking forward to that. Also looking forward to seeing you. If you haven't already got your tickets, get your tickets. Looking forward to seeing you at Bragg. Be there. Folks always say, don't meet me there, beat me there. But if you beat me to Bragg, then that's a problem. Also, don't forget softball. They're getting ready for their fall ball. Volleyball's got a game before. Track's got a game that night. It's a full night of FAMU athletics. So just saying, man, it's going to be some good times right now. Clark Atlanta 16, Fort Valley 7, but Fort Valley's driving. It's actually a decent game. And I'm looking to see this NFL game going to be talking about in a few minutes too. All right, y'all. For everybody at HBCU Digital Network, looking forward to seeing y'all in the beautiful city of Tallahassee, Florida, on the highest of 7 hills at the Florida Agricultural Mechanical University. Because y'all already know what's up, what it's always going to be. Thanks up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Dorsey,